She arrived a few minutes past 11 and immediately hit the ground running with the issues at hand. On the table were a whole range of topics, the most burning being just what to do with the post-election violence suspects. And here President Obama's top diplomat was categorical that the buck stopped with Kenyans themselves.
If there's not going to be a special local tribunal that has confidence of the people, then I think the people deserve to know that someone is going to put in motion the process to hold people accountable. And it may well be that that is the ICC. So that's going to be up to Kenyans.
But that is not to mean that the US will sit aside and watch as the culture of impunity sinks its roots further into the Kenyan society. Clinton, however, stated that the country would not resort to blanket withholding of aid, which could lead to further suffering of ordinary Kenyans.
We will consider consequences aimed at individuals, not aimed at the people of Kenya.
Already the British government has taken such action, with High Commissioner Rob Mackay indicating that the number of Kenyans blacklisted from travelling to the UK has since increased.
We have had, as part of UK policy for some time, a policy of not allowing to the UK individuals who have been responsible for inciting violence, and that's a global policy. I think, as I say, that's a policy that we are looking at very hard at the moment, and we will keep under review.
And should the government fail to act, then it is likely that scores of other Western countries would take similar actions. Just a day before Clinton arrived in the country, Prime Minister Raila Odinga claimed that Kenya needed less of lectures from the developed countries and more trade partnerships.
I had quite a good conversation with him. And I told him that I was bearing a message from the son of Kenya, Barack Obama.
The Secretary of State is of the view that reforms were mandatory to keep the country out of negative occurrences, such as the violence that occurred after the disputed polls in 2007.
I think the electoral reform, the judicial reform, the police reform, the constitutional reform, all have to be done before the next election.
Mrs. Clinton, however, acknowledged that no country, however powerful, could reform another country, and that it was up to Kenyans themselves to decide the destiny of their country.
That the United States cannot solve the problems of Kenya. We can encourage, we can lecture, we can offer assistance, we can, try to highlight good practices, but it has to be done by the people of Kenya.
It was a cold morning, slightly warmed though by the discussions on governance, politics, climate change and youth affairs. But even with the perceived lectures from the international community, one thing is certain: Kenyans must take care of their own problems. Andrew Ochieng, Citizen News.